Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to try to get into detail about mail merge for Office 2010 and also Office 2007 because they are pretty much the same. There is not much difference. And I've already done a detailed one for Office 2003 and I thought I'll get into in more detail in this one for the new version. And in this video, I'm also going to add some extra things which I didn't do it in the 2003 mail merge, and I'm going to talk about how to use it with Outlook and also how to send out emails using mail merge. So I'll try to do a couple of those things in this presentation. I'm hoping to finish it in 30 minutes or so. So let's get started with the basic understanding of mail merge, and I'm just going to bring up this small slide that I've created. The whole idea of mail merge is that you want to send out a letter, emails, envelopes, or labels. So we'll just start with the letter. So the idea is to send out letters to many people, and you do not want to spend a lot of time trying to add people's contact names on it. So say, for example, you work at a non-profit, and every year you have to send out a letter inviting all your donors to a charity event. Now, if you have 1,000 people and you have to send out a letter with an envelope to them, this would take you a long time if you had to do this manually. That is, your letter, which is exactly the same for everybody because it includes the time and the location and what's happening. The only thing that is changing are the people's names and addresses. So you'll have to manually keep on adding them, printing it. Then you have to do the same thing for the envelope. Mail merge does the job for you. All you need is your source data. So this source data is the list which has your names and addresses. You can also have this typed in Excel, or it could also be part of your Outlook contacts. Now if you work in an environment, they already have the source data in most places. If you don't, I'm going to show you how to create it and also show you how to use an existing list. Now the second part in the mail merge is your generic letter. I call it a generic letter because this is the letter that is common to everybody. This is where you type the words, the format of the letter. Something should be bold or italic. Where should the names go? Where should the address go? And the content of the letter, like what date it is that the event is taking place or whatever it could be. And then you can use this generic letter every year. All you have to do is keep changing the date and the time and the location as they change, and somebody who's already keeps on adding more and more names to your source data. Now these two files, the source data and your generic letter, are merged together by mail merge, and then finally you get your final letter. So if you have 100 names in your source data, you'll end up having 100 letters or envelopes. So then you don't have to do any of that work. So with that said, let's start with mail merge. To start with mail merge, first of all you have to open up Microsoft Word and you go to this option called mailings. There is a tab. All of these buttons are known as tabs, and within the tabs all of these are called ribbons, these buttons on the bottom here. So you go to mailings and you look for an option called Start Mail Merge. You click it. Now in here you can directly go to this letter option if you wanted to write a letter or email messages or envelopes. However, if you are new to it, and even if you've been using it for a while, it's easier to go with this step-by-step mail merge wizard. If you know this in 2003, from that point of view, it is exactly the same like Office 2003, the way it is done. So from mailings, start mail merge, step by step. Now it's asking you to select a type of document. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to write a letter? Envelope? So this time I'm going to do a letter. We'll come back and do the envelope and the email message. And I look on the bottom, it says next step. That's why I like it, because all you have to do is keep choosing the option, keep hitting next. So I'm just going to click next. It's asking you select the starting document. It's saying, where are you going to write your letter? Are you going to write it right here? Or do you have a template? Or have you already written the letter? So if you have already written it, you will have to click it and then open, and browse to where the file is already written. In our case, we'll just go with this current document, and you could always open the letter, copy and paste it here, so that's not a problem. The next step is select recipients. Recipients is your source data. MailMerge is asking you, do you have an existing list? If you had it, you browse to it. So I can browse to it and then go to wherever the Excel file is or wherever the thing is. You can also use your Outlook contacts. So if you have been using Outlook personally or at work, you can select Outlook contacts and then choose the contacts folder. It's asking you the name. Usually that will show up whatever your default profile is for Outlook, and just click OK. Now I've just added some contacts in my test Outlook here, and there is the contacts, and I click OK, and there are some names I had typed, and all you have to do is click OK to this. But for this example, I'm going to type a new list. Say for example you were starting from scratch, so you type a new list and I want to create. So here you get to type, you see the headings here, title, first name, so you go in and type Mr. Dot. I'm going to put a dot here so that the letter will automatically have the dot. And then say I wanted to type John. I'm just using the tab key to go to the next cell. And then that way, I'm just going to expand this. I'm going to go to the corner. And you can add all of this information. Now just to make it a little quicker, I can go to customize columns. And you know what, I'm just going to start removing home phone, delete. I say yes. Work phone, delete. Yes. Email address, delete. Yes. Country, region, I'll delete it for now. I don't want to spend too much time typing, and I'll leave the rest there. Maybe address line 2, I'll remove it for now. You could always add whatever field you want if it wasn't listed. You could always rename. So if I sort of zip code, I wanted to rename it to postal code, I could do that. And once you add something, you could always move up or move down wherever you wanted it to be. So I'll just click OK. I'm just going to pause the video for a few minutes and just enter at least 4 or 5 records. Alright, so I've just added 3 names, and you could always just keep on hitting tab, tab, tab. It automatically takes you to the new line. Or you could always use the new entry button here on the bottom. And you can always delete something if you didn't want it. So if I hit tab, my cursor is in this last line. If I hit tab, it adds that empty line. If I don't want it, I can just hit delete, say yes to it. So these are my 3 names that I have typed, and I click OK. Now right away, MailMerge wants to save it because this is your source data. So this is very important that we save it, because this is a separate file on its own. And it's going to save it in My Documents, My Data Sources. There's a special folder for it, and you could always save it wherever you want it. You can create new folders here. So I'll just call this my charity donor list. It's always good to give it a proper name so you know what it is. I click save, and there is my list, and I can click OK. So my source data is created. What's the next step here? It says write your letter. So I'm just going to click next. And right here, now I need to start writing my letter. So say on the top, I wanted to put the person's title, first name, last name, and then the company name, and then the address. So I'll show you the hard way, and then I'll show you the easy way. So I wanted to insert a merge field, that is a field from my source. So I click in this drop down button here where it says insert merge field, and I choose title. I'm going to put a space, and you see how it has the word title with the arrows on it, which tells me it's not going to put that word. It's going to look at my source, and then it's going to put the word Mr., Miss, Mrs. from there, and make sure you put a space, otherwise everything will be joined together. Click here, first name, space. Click on the drop down button, makes it easy. Last name. I want to go to the next line. I'm going to hit enter. Now what it's doing it's leaving an empty line, which is called double spacing. So I'm just going to highlight it because I don't want it to be like that. I'm going to go to the home tab, and tell it to make it no spacing. Okay, click here in the bottom so it doesn't leave an empty line. Come back to mailings, and then here I wanted to put the company name. I hit enter to go to the next line. Address line 1, enter, city, comma, space, state, enter, postal code. So that's it. Now I'll just show you an easy way of doing this. If you look on the right hand side, there is these options like greeting lines and stuff, and there is an option called address blocks. So I'm just going to click it, and you see it's showing me what it will look like. Mr. John Doe, company name and stuff like that. Postal code and everything is in line with the city. And then you can choose, there are different designs here. I can show it like this, like that, like that. There are different designs. And even in that you can choose to insert the company name or not. And I'll click OK. And it puts the address block. Don't worry about it. It will look alright. I hit enter. And now say I wanted to say dear space insert title space last name colon, and then I can type. And then you can type whatever else you want. Okay. Now even here, if I wanted to say the name of the company and wanted to say something like your company's been supporting us for a long time. So I wanted to say like 123 Networks has been supporting us for the last 10 years. Hopefully you'll continue it. So I want to start with the company name. So I just click that so that it will grab the company name for individual people. And I can then write okay, so something like that. So you can insert that merge field wherever you want it. You're not limited to the address or the title. So, and the next step. So the next step is it says preview your letter. So now it's showing me how it will look. And you see again my address has gone to double space. I'm just going to highlight it. Go to home. Make it no spacing, because I don't want it to be like that. And I'll hit enter here. So this is the place where you'll fix all the problems, so that there are no issues and you can make things bold, italic, whatever it is that you want it to do. I can come back to the mailings tab. And if you found that there were some errors in your source, that your names or something like that, you can go back to your edit recipient list and then double click here or click on it one time and then click edit. Now this is where you can make the changes again if you found that there were some errors in spelling or the names were wrong or something like that. So you always have to come there, say yes, click OK. That is edit recipient list. Okay. Now what's the next step? It says complete the merge. I can click next. Now you can directly print it from here, or you can edit individual letters. Now however, what I want to do is, this is my generic file. I like to save them because I find that some people, they get confused when they start using MailMerge for the first time, because you start having these different files. So I'm going to save this file, and I'll save it in my documents right now, and I'll create a folder called MailMerge. Double click on it so it saves it in there, and I'll call this my generic charity letter. So this is the way I know what this letter is. So every year I can open it. I could save. Now instead of printing, I'm just going to click on edit individual letters. And then if you wanted, you could choose, like say you had 1,000 names and you only wanted from 200 to 300, you could put that from. Right now I'll just choose all. I click OK. And now this is where I have my final letter. So if I wanted, I could save it in the same MailMerge and I can call it final charity letter if I wasn't ready to print it right now. So let's see, how many letters should I have? I should have 3 letters. Mr. John Doe, ABC Computers, Mr. Doe, and then the ABC Computers shows up there too. I'm going to scroll down, and there is Mrs. Lisa Jones, and XYZ Insurance, and the same way with the third one. Now I can print this. Okay, so this is your letter ready to go. So again, you had three parts: your source data, your generic letter, and your final letter. So I'm just going to close this, and I already saved everything, and I'm going to close this file. It's asking me to save. Make sure you say yes to saving it. So now it's been saved. Now in the future, if you ever wanted to write this letter again, all you have to do is go to File, Open, or it's already listing it there. If it doesn't show up, I can go to Open, Mail Merge, and then there is the generic. Just say yes to this message, and there is my letter. And if I had some dates here, I change the dates. I go back to the mailings. I can go back to the Edit Recipient List to add things or remove things. Now because this is already set up, I just have to make the changes and then do the Finish the Merge option. Edit individual documents. It will show me all the three things again. So every year you can keep on using it. Okay. Now besides that, if you ever wanted to just make changes as you are writing and you are adding more and more names, you'll have to go to your source data. So I'll just show you that quickly. I'm just going to open my folder here, and I double click on Documents, and in there is the My Data Sources, and there is the charity donor list. Now in my computer I have Access, so when I double click on it, it's going to open in Access. So it opens this file in Access. I'm going to say Enable Content, and there is the table office address list. I'll double click on it, and you see here's the list I have created, and I can keep on adding more. I'm not sure what it will do in a computer which does not have Access. I'm pretty sure it will open up in some way that you will be able to add the names to it besides going through Microsoft Word. So if you find what happens, just leave a comment in the bottom to let me know. I'm gonna try this. If I find a computer without Access, I can just close this. Okay. Now let's look at how to use Mail Merge to create an envelope from a list you already have. So I'm going to go to File, New, Blank Document, just to have a blank sheet, Mailings, Start Mail Merge, and I'll go through a step by step again. I want to do envelopes. I click Next. I don't need to make any changes here. The next option is says Select Recipient. Before you get to that, it's going to ask you some question about the envelope options, because we have different sizes of envelopes, size 10, size 11, or size 12. So you can choose the type you want. You can change the font sizes and things like that for delivery address and stuff. So it's showing me the preview here. I click OK. Now again, I'm on my Select Recipients. It's saying, hey, do you have a list? And I say, hey, I already have a list, so I'm going to browse. And you can do this in a letter and everything. And I'll go to Documents, My Data Sources, and double click on Charity Donor List. And there are my three names. I can double click here to add, remove, correct mistakes, and I click OK. Next it says Arrange your envelope. I'll click Next. Now my cursor is blinking on the left hand side, so that's where our address goes. That is who is sending this. So if I wanted, I could always just go ahead and add my address if I wanted to. Or whatever it is, Or if you already had a lot of the companies, they already have an envelope and the return address is already pasted there, or they have a labels to put it there. So that's fine. But if you do this, then it will already print it for you. Now all you have to do is find the cursor where the person's address should go, which is around here somewhere. So I'm just going to click here. You need to click till the time you see this box. So you just need to click around here and you'll get this box. And I'm going to put the address block because that's what I want to put here. Click it. And again, I can choose the style I want. It will be like this. Do I want the company name? I'll leave it. Click OK. Next step is preview your envelope. I'll click next, and there it shows me what it will look like. And then it says next is complete the merge. Click it. Edit individual envelopes. All. Click OK. Now I should have 3 different envelopes. So this is the first, John Doe, second, and then the third. I'll just go to print preview. Add the print preview shortcut, and I'll click it. Reduce the zoom. So there are my 3 envelopes ready to be printed. Usually most printers have a special place for it. Now you print the letters, print the envelope, the first name will match, put it together, and send it out with a stamp. Your job is done. Okay, so I'm just going to close this. I'm not going to save it. I'll close this too, and I'm just going to close it from here. And I won't save it. So that was your letter, and that was your envelopes. I'm going to show you how to do emails. So I'm just going to open new blank document. Just as a side note, if you ever noticed, when you go to new, you'll see there are all these different templates to create resumes, reports, letters, invoices. So they already are set up to do different things. So that's a good option to use if you ever wanted to create something. I'm just going to do blank. Mailings. Start mail merge. Step by step. And I'm going to do email message. Now for this to work, you need to have Outlook set up, or I believe some kind of an email program set up on your computer. It's not going to work just with your Hotmail or Gmail. But in most work environments, they'll have some kind of a program to be used by email. So in my case, I've set up Outlook here. If you wanted to, you could test this. You can watch my Outlook video in which I teach you how you can set it up, Outlook, to use with your Hotmail or Gmail account. So email messages, click next. I'll say I'm going to use this current document. Next, select recipients. Now I have them in my Outlook contacts, and I can click that. Choose Outlook contacts. I click OK. And I have some 4 test ones created. I click OK, and there they are. And in Outlook you can add all this information, so it's a whole bunch of information that is added. Click OK. Next step, write your email message. So this is where you'll be writing hi, and then say I wanted to put the person's first name, last name, okay, something like that. So whatever you wanted, you'll write it here and insert the fields that are whatever you needed it. Now the next step is preview your email message. I click it. It shows me what it will look like. Next step is complete the merge. I click next. And I want to send it by electronic mail, so I click it. It's asking me to send it to the email address, which is fine. Add a subject line. And all the records, I want to send it to all of them that I have in my contacts. I click OK. And now I'm just going to start Outlook to show you what it does. So I have turned off my internet just so that I'll show you in my outbox. You see there are these 4 messages that are waiting. Invite you to dinner party to be sent out. So that's it in this sense. So I've turned off my internet connection so that these emails don't start to go. And that's it to sending mail messages through mail merge using Microsoft Word and Outlook in combination. If you ever wanted to send just a single envelopes to print, then you have to use this from the mailings option. That is to print only one envelope because you only wanted to print one rather than using mail merge. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful.